Welcome everybody, I'm your host Infinite, and I wanted to bring you guys today's battle in honor of a comment that was recently left on one of my videos. Now this comment was from LaRon Miller. He left a good idea that I wanted to try to fulfill, wanted to try this out. Let's take a quick look at LaRon's comment. He says, imagine belly drum with guts, flame or toxic orb, and facade. So he just wants to see big damage, right? And who am I to deny him? Let's try to get this to work. I built this team specifically around this Zangoose, and I'm going to tell you why Zangoose fits the bill for LaRon's comment. So LaRon, I hope you're watching. This one's for you. Zangoose has toxic boost ability, which is the same thing as guts. It's just specifically for being poisoned, whereas guts could be any status condition. So Zangoose has belly drum, toxic boost with the toxic orb, and facade. This team that I built around it is to try to get all of that stuff to work. We have Ariados with sticky webs, Yuxi to set rocks and screens. Frostless is here to block rapid spins, and Empoleon to punish defogs with Defiant. And then Salamence, he is just here to clean up if I absolutely need it. Dragon Dance Salamence with a Yachi Berry. So let's see if we can get huge damage to work. Let's hop right into a battle. We found our opponent Darian in the global room, and look at Darian's team here. He brings a mono dragon team, which I am all for, guys. Bring whatever you want to the global room and just have fun, right? Look at this guy's team with Rayquaza, Palkia, Giratina. I love it. I have an idea. He has one too. He's the dragon trainer. So Darian, good luck, have fun. Can we get our idea to work? As the battle begins, and surprise, surprise, he leads off with a dragon. So here's Dragonite, and we let off with Ariados. Most of his Pokemon are flying or levitating. I still want Sticky Web up. I came with an idea. I'm gonna get Sticky Webs up. I have Focus Sash. Fire Punch doesn't even take me down to it, as we get webs. Now I think I just need to break this Dragonite's multi-scale for the next Pokemon to come in. So I'm just gonna go for the Sucker Punch. This shouldn't do much. Just looking to break that multi-scale ability that Dragonite has as we go down to a Fire Punch, and that's totally fine. And we begin our idea here. As I am thinking that I do just want to get this Dragonite out of the way because he's got leftovers and he could go back up to multi-scale. I'm hoping that Salamence will scare this Dragonite out. I'm faster. I could easily go for the Dragon Claw. I'm really hoping that our opponent switches here, so I'm going to go for the Dragon Dance to try to outspeed the Latios. But to my surprise, this Dragonite actually stays in, and that's not good news for the Salamence actually. So I didn't know my opponent's playstyle, which I'm still gauging in the first couple of turns here, as he goes for the massive Dragon Rush, and that's going to destroy the Salamence. And that's pretty wild, but you know, I'm still understanding how my opponent wants to play. He gets another leftover tick there, and he's like 1 HP back from being back to multi-scale, and I know I have to come in with the Frostlast. So I'm just thinking my opponent, he's the type of battler that'll just stay in, go for big damage. So I'm gonna do the same. I'll go for the 4x super effective Ice Beam before that Dragonite can get back up to multi-scale. So let's just clear this Dragonite out of the way and see if we can get past it, and then try to set up for the Zangoose after that, as Ice Beam, yeah, just annihilates the Dragonite. So this should honestly force out the Palkia, who's the only dragon on his team that Ice Beam is not super effective against. So let's see what Darian switches into, as that's no surprise, Palkia comes in here. Now Palkia is not levitating or flying, so he will get hit by those sticky webs, as I think it's a good idea to save Frostlast for a little bit later, as now we just go into Yuxi, who's really defensive. We're going to try to set screens first. I'm going to prioritize screens, and then hopefully get rocks up. We'll see if I can survive that long, as Palkia just goes for the Power Gem. And we got a Life Orb Palkia, as if Palkia doesn't do enough damage, am I right? But that's alright. We'll just get a screen up, which we could then definitely survive the next attack that the Palkia wants to go for. So we'll get a Light Screen first, then Reflect. Spatial Rend comes through. We should live that. as we do not live that, and it was a critical hit, and that's why. So that's perfectly okay with me. It's part of the game, right? It's part of the channel name. So critical hits, I always like to see it. It's unfortunate because I would have got a reflect up there, and that would have been really handy for this Zangoose, who I absolutely have to come out with now. Let's try to honor LaRon Miller here with, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, by the way. If I'm not, let me know down in the comments. But let's just go right for the belly drum. We have a light screen up. We could potentially survive something that this Palkia wants to go for. We sacrifice half our HP to get a belly drum as we avoid the spatial rend, and that is exactly what we needed. We get poisoned by our toxic orb. Now we get to go for the massive facade. Destroy that Palkia. That probably did 1000% to that Palkia. It was facade, toxic boost, toxic orb, belly drum, max attack, Zangoose. Destroys that Palkia's life as he comes in with Giratina. He probably saw the facade. It was like, you know what? I'm going to come in with something that he can't facade. But now we just go for the max attack. We have Shadow Claw coverage for this exact reason. So we can hit ghost types as we come with a super effective Shadow Claw and do the calcs on that one. As, yeah. No shot, that wasn't one hit KOing that Giratina there. We're getting whittled down by poison, so kind of getting limited on turns. As in come Rayquaza, and you know what, this is exactly why I wanted to get a reflect up, which would have been really nice here, because then I would have been able to get off another facade. But let's just be honest, what Rayquaza won't run extreme speed as he goes for it. Knocks out the Zangoose, and that's a little unfortunate because I would have survived that and got off another huge facade, the biggest facade. As now that we got the attack off and we honored that comment, thank you so much, by the way, for leaving that down. It's time for Frostlass to come in. We just need to try to clean up this game, as the Ice Beam will annihilate the Rayquaza because he's 4 times weak to it. Opponent really has nothing to switch in on an Ice Beam anyway, so as in comes the Latios now. I'm unsure if an Ice Beam or a Shadow Ball would take this Latios out. It's kind of all I have, so I have to go for it. Maybe I'll hope for a freeze. Go for the Ice Beam here. He has this and Salamence left, which definitely goes down to an Ice Beam. We do not get the KO, but we do get the freeze. And I needed a little bit of luck on my side this battle to make that happen with the spatial rend miss and the freeze here. So we just get to go for another Ice Beam. This Latios won't survive, and Salamence will not survive an Ice Beam as well, as our opponent realizes it. And Darien, he just runs from the battle, but I really appreciate him for bringing that mono dragon team to this battle. I just happen to have a Frostlass. It was really to block rapid spins, but the ice typing really helped out there. As Darien, thanks again. LaRon, this specific battle was for you, and I want to encourage you guys to leave me comments, leave me ideas that you want to see, and I will do my best to try to come through and showcase for you guys. So thanks again for all the love and all the appreciation, and we will see you guys next time. I'm out.